Hello, it's me. Hello, it's me. So it's currently 4 a.m. and I was actually sleeping, but now I'm awake. Remember, there is a time I was saying YouTube usually knows like different things to recommend at different times, and now this one is recommending play this at 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. Anyway, that is not what I want to talk about. I have had a crazy encounter. I'm looking for that video because I've just finished filming it right now and I want to show you what happened. Let me look for it. It's just my life that has ended, but it is like further away, so that is why I decided to make this one. Um, Let me reduce the volume completely, and then it's not this one. Wait a minute, I'm looking for it because I was on live. Like I was doing a live, but I slept. Okay, so what woke me up is I was sleeping, and then I had a voice. I had a voice. It sounds like a supernatural encounter, but I had a like my neighbor, my neighbor was like yelling, "Hello!" Like I have another neighbor and she's called, let's give her a name, let's say she's called Wanjiku, but she's like a married woman. Let's say she's called Wanjiku, but she's like a married woman. She lives with her family and kids and husband and all that. So, and then there is another neighbor. I actually don't know his name, but let's call him Joseph. So Joseph was yelling all over, Wanjiku, Wanjiku, please, Wanjiku. And then they're talking in like a local dialect, which is Kikuyu, which I personally don't understand because I'm not Kikuyu. So like, what is going on? At first, I thought maybe this Wanjiku and her husband are having a problem, and this guy is like trying to go in and separate them and whatever and whatever. Oh, so I was like, I was sleeping. I was literally seated here, and I woke up and I was like talking to my live, and I'm like, I, oh, what is happening? Like, I don't know what is going on outside. And I said, should I go and check? Because it's 3:30 a.m. It's like around 3:30, 3:40 a.m. It's like I don't know if I should go outside because of course I'm a girl and I don't know if there is anyone who could come to my rescue because I don't. It's not like I'm living with anyone or anything. So I said, let me wait and see. I mean, let me wait by the door and see like what is happening. So I went and stood at the door and I was like listening in to hear like what is he talking about. Because even in the live I was saying I don't know if he's trying to knock my neighbor's door or what he's doing. And then I realized I didn't actually know he was on the gate actually, but he kept on saying like sometimes he'll say, if I know like a few Kikuyu words, so I know a few Kikuyu words. So like there is sometimes he could say, Wegatea is like, what are you doing? And then there is something, I don't know, Gukena, something, which I know like it's like a preposition for the word sleep. So I was like, I think he's saying, is he going to sleep here? Like I was just trying to connect the dots. So I was like, was he getting out of his own house and then got stuck or something? Or what is happening? So and then he also says, my hand is stuck. And I'm like, where is your hand stuck? And he's like, I will die here. I'm like, What is going on? So I said, okay. I gathered up my courage. I was like, okay, let me just ask him what is happening. And I called out. I was like, what is happening? Like, why? Like, what is happening? I was like, just come out. I'm like, I'm not coming out unless you tell me what is happening. Because, of course, I cannot just come into a situation that I don't know what is going on. I tell him, tell me what is going on. I was like, just come out. I said, no. You know, sometimes he usually talks like a little bit arrogantly, which I know is like his character. We have not had many encounters, but there is also another day when I went to open the gate for him, and he was like, why, what took you so long? I'm like, bro, I came to save you. I didn't have to. I didn't have to. I came to save you. So it's like, okay. I asked him what is going on, and it's like I can hear his voice breaking, and I'm like, okay, maybe something is actually wrong. And I got my knife. Let me show you my big knife. This one, you see how long it is, and I put it in here, inside. I literally put it inside. I was like, I'm just carrying this just in case, like anything, there is anything going on. So I go outside and I see him. Now let me show you. Let me show you how he was. Where's that thing? Let me look at the live, and then I'll show you. I'll show you how I actually like found him looking or like he was basically the gate is usually locked from outside, and it usually has a how do I call it, like a, let me show you basic Kenyan gates. Let me show you how they look like, because I don't even know if I'll be able to play the live because it has just ended. Sometimes it usually doesn't. Um, Let me show you the Kenyan gates, how they look like. Ah, so that you can understand what I'm saying, because I know not everywhere they have this type of gates. Unfortunately, most people here are just showing the designs. Like I just want a normal, so that I can show you. Many people usually get shocked, like, what kind of designs are these? Because it's usually built like that in for security purposes, so that someone cannot open it from outside. Hi. Most of the people here are just showing the designer ones. I How do you mean I can't find a gate that looks like that? Oh god, I can't even find a similar gate. This is frustrating. This is taking too much. Ugh. The ones being shown here are like those designer ones and are literally not the designer one to show you guys like how it looks like with a whole eye. What name can I use? I don't know what search term to use to get uh, exactly what I want. Can I see one? Let me see if I can find one on Gigi. Gigi.com is like, Dawson, hi, how are you doing? Mm, I literally can't find a similar get. Is this one the same? It's not. This is a sliding get. What do you mean there is no photo for such a gate here? Kwani, how deep in the trenches am I? This one looks similar. This one is a bit similar. Okay, let me zoom in. I don't know if I can zoom into this photo. I don't know if you can see this. It's a very small photo, and I literally can't zoom out. If you can see, right here, where are we? This one. You see that thing? So for you to open the lock, you have to put your hand in there, okay? For you to open there. But for security, they usually add another latchet below it, okay? So that, let me say at night, you can only open it from inside. Yes, this is my laptop. Why? So, so what happened is I was telling, I don't even remember where I was, but yeah, I guess I wanted to show you how the gate sort of looks like before. And so what happened is the neighbor, I don't know where he works, but sometimes he comes home late. And he was wearing these huge coats, like trench coats, they're like heavy fabric. That is what he was wearing. And normally he usually tries and puts his hand through that thing and bends it downwards to open the lower latchet, because at night it will be closed and no one is coming to open for you. You have to open for yourself. And so he tried to do that, like he tried to open the the gate, and his hand, I know his hand got stuck because of the jacket, but he was like, no, I don't know what happened. I was telling him it's because of the jacket, it's because the jacket is heavy. And it's like, no, I don't know. But the thing is, like, the main thing is he was like there for a while and he was trying to call for help. He was calling my neighbor and my neighbor was not responding. Is my Wi-Fi working? My other neighbor, she was not responding. So I was like, hi, Connie, what's happening? And yeah, so like when I went and got there, Kwani, why do I have such what the hell? I'm literally wait a minute, this is a joke. I'm literally let me show you. This is not disgust. This is not I don't think this is something that is difficult for you to see. Look at my leg. Look at this thing. I'm literally touching my leg and I'm like, what is going on here? Come to find out, I scratched myself for whatever reason, and now there is like a dry strip of blood there. Niko funny. Why am I climbing up my bed? Anyway, kwani what's going on with this? My phone is like rotating. No Wi-Fi. So I want to show you because my phone was like still on, my camera was still rolling when I was hearing him yelling for the other neighbor to come out. I was like, I was even here, like I was like, should I go, should I not? Then when I got my knife, I was like, okay, let me go. I'm okay, I'm doing well. How are you? The coffee did not accept to come through. Let me see. This video was 5 hours. I thought it was like 3 hours, 3 hours and 30 minutes. This was me going outside. Was I going outside or was I coming back? Because I want to show you the situation that was here. Because I went out with my camera, I was like, I can't go out like this. The thing is, I think my Wi-Fi doesn't quite reach the gate like really well, so the video quality was like so bad. You can't do what? Adi? No, but maybe on the laptop it doesn't affect anything. No, it doesn't change. The link is usually in my profile, so like it doesn't change. Let me show you. Let me show you how this guy was looking like at the door. At the door, at the gate. I actually put the light on so that I could see what I was doing. Even though there is like a security light, but it's usually a bit dim. Then like my main priority was saving the guy. So look at how he was bending. Oh my god. The video is not very clear, but like you have an idea. You can see him like bending because he was like this. Look at can you even see? He was like bending in the thing. He like tried to put in the here was trying to like release the jacket because as you can see it's like a very heavy textile. And primarily I told him that is why you got stuck, because your jacket is big. I personally haven't ever even thought about doing that, like putting my arm in there. You can see the way the elbow is like bent. It's like, hey, Sasa, how do we do this? I was just thinking first aid, firewoman. Abdullahi, hi, how are you doing? Yeah, and then I just tried to move the fabric and then I tried to twist his arm and I told him, can you rotate like this? Let me see if the audio is there. Unaweza jaribu kupinduka hivi. Pinduka. Huku, uangalie huku. Ndio mkono iangalie juu. Yeah, and then he turned like that and it got easier. See? See? I know this shit. See, now see, look at what he's telling me. Achana nayo. This guy is so arrogant, by the way. Nishatoka na bado amekwama. Look at him now. But he was literally in tears. I know you can't see, but he was like, yeah, basically. Yeah, and that is true. I don't even have the key to the padlock because they usually like lock it at 10, and I have never been outside past 10. There is only one time when I came home at like 4. That was on New Year's Eve. That was the only time, and I just called the landlady. I was like, "Hey, book, come open the gate for me," because I do not want to bother like any other tenants because I know that is not their time, their duty to do what. Guy, I'm hungry. Eh, I don't know. Should I start making? What am I even supposed to make for breakfast? Mandazi. So basically, I'm a superhero. I'm a superhero. I should stop this nonsense. Yeah. And he was like, "Thank you so much. I always open the gate for everyone." But I don't think so because this guy is never around. He's never around. But it's okay. So, key point is you could be actually afraid of going to help someone because nowadays also like you can't just trust people blindly. Because I was asking him what is going on, and it's just like, just come out and see what is happening, okay? I got this. I tucked this inside inside my dress. And I was like, in case there is any shady business, I'm gonna have to defend myself. Cause this one, if someone sees this one, they just fear. Aki, my stomach is growling. Hey. I think I'm like, the problem with me waking up at such hours is that I'll probably stay awake and then I will fall asleep at like 8ish, 8 a.m. Yeah. Am I too close to the camera? I guess so. I should have some rice. The thing is, I actually wanted to cook some rice yesterday. And then I was like, because I ate rice basically the day before that, I did not have appetite. That is my problem. I did not have appetite to eat anything. But I ate 2 eggs. Boiled. I boiled 2 eggs and ate them. So that is what I had. Na 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 na. Maybe I, I'll just wait until it's like 7:30 a.m. and then I can find something to eat. I've been sleeping from I slept from well, I don't know, it was already past midnight, like a few hours past, a few minutes past midnight, be like 30 minutes. So technically, I've only slept for 3 hours. Na 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 na. I don't know. I don't know how to tie my hair like really well. There is something we used to mix margarine and margarine and chocolate and what? Margarine and chocolates and sugar. And we call it mtobo. That is something I'm feeling like I want to eat right now. Why is there ads? Because you need, I need the money. I need the money. Remember when I told you, I told you, normally the videos, the lives I usually do, like if you go on my channel, you see like I have done lives which have even 8,000 views or 2,000 or 3,000. I could be getting 0.5 Kenyan shillings, not even dollars, from that whole audience. But when I do it like here and you see the ads, at least it goes up a little bit. So it depends on how many, like it's just slightly higher than whatever, but it's higher, like compared to the number of views. So in as much as, let me say if I end this live right now and it has, how many views do we have right now? Maybe like, the menu is not even here. Even if it's like 30 views, you if it's 30 views, you could get, I don't know, 10 shillings or 20. Or there is another one which I saw, the highest limit, this is the highest a live has ever earned for me up to now, is 160 shillings, and it was in this month. The other ones, nowhere near. It's like 0.1, 0.02. So that's why I'm like trying to mix. Right now, I'm trying to mix. If I do on here and also do on the shorts, because when I do on the shorts, like basically the only thing you earn from is super chats, which of course doesn't happen often. Yep. So don't worry. If you see them, don't worry. It's just me trying to make something. It's just me. Let me see if I can show you what I'm talking about. Guy, I'm hungry. The sun should rise faster, faster, because I need food. Let me go to YouTube Studio on Chrome. I like it better more than the app. I'm literally getting a headache. If you have me. Continue to studio. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Na 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 na. So, I don't know if you can see. Let me try to make the screen a little bit bigger. No, but now you won't be able to see like the whole thing. If you look at this thing, light, Jamani, light, light. Ah, you can even see. You can. You can't even see. Let me see. Mhm. Na 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 na. I need, I need somebody who can hold me in my worst. Don't you worry, right there whenever you need me. Na 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 na. Hey, I'm so close to the camera. Okay, see you. But I wanted to show you. I wanted to like show you the difference between the lives I do on the phone and the ones I do. I was opening up the thing. Show. I want to show a window so that it doesn't. Ah, I'll just have to show this one. Okay. I have to select first this one. Na 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 na. Hey, stop doing that. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you can see. Let me see. Let me check what you're seeing before I explain what is going on. Savoski. Yeah, guess it's clear. So, if you check, look at this video. This the lives with this thumbnails, the same thumbnails are the ones I do on my phone. For example, this one, this is 32. It was 32 minutes. It got 541 views. How much did it earn? 2 shillings, Kenyan shillings. 2 shillings, okay. This one was done on webcam, which means I did it on my laptop, and it has 50 views. How much did it earn? 16 shillings. Yeah. And then this one, you have this one is also, this one was done on the phone and it has 470 views. It has earned 1 shilling. Then this one was done on the laptop. It has 61 views and it has 21 shillings. So like you can see the difference. In as much as like it's not so much money. It's not even money to begin with, but you can see the difference. You can see this one got 120 views and it has 119 shillings. Um, Basically, yeah, that is the reason why I'm at least trying to balance so that it makes a little bit of sense. You can see the ones with such thumbnails, like this one saying hello, has 94 views. This one got 22. Okay, still bad, but let's see. This one, okay, this one has 1,700 views. It has 28. Um, but look at this one. It has 1,900. It has 3 shillings. So it's very varied. But generally, the ones on the webcam are like a lot higher. You can see this one. This one has 75 views. It has 130. This one is a members only. But it has 315 because someone joined a membership from the like someone saw the video is members only and clicked it and joined the membership, so that is why it has 317. Yep. But it still makes just the same. This one, this one apparently YouTube accused the video of being actually let me make it public because they had said it's not what it's not appropriate for ads, but then I said I'll just change it to private, but I submitted a review and they reviewed it and they said okay, so it's okay. Yeah, so basically that is why. Let's go back and stop screen sharing. Yeah, that is why I'm like trying to alternate a little bit. Na 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 na. Eh, Anyway. So the videos on the normal lives, they usually don't get as much views. Like nowhere, they're not even comparable. What? Yeah, but it's they're usually a little bit better. What did I want to check? I'm so used to opening YouTube Studio. I'm like, I go to Chrome and default. I just open YouTube Studio for no reason. I wanted to actually open my email. Even though today is on Sunday. I'm used to like nowadays whenever I wake up that is the first thing I ever check. Congratulations, you've reached 7,200 725,000 views. Which one is this? Oh, I think I want to make some tea. It's like in the middle of the night, but I'm hungry. I'll make some tea right now. Right this minute. What's the time? It's already 5. I can make a pancake. Do I have baking powder? Yes. Oh, oh my god. In the middle of the night. I'm eating from a sufuria and it's all hot. I'll just have to wait until it's morning for me to eat breakfast. Hope the thing is starting to burn me. Kwani, where's my menu? Hello. I've just remembered someday when there is some guy who usually he used to like do stuff on our call. He's a Kenyan. There is a day he tried. I don't know if he actually sold. He had like such a cooking pot. This is like the standard Kenyan cooking pot, and he convinced someone. There is like if it stays for like many years, there is a way it usually has dents on it, and it can look really old. So he convinced someone that it was an artifact, and the guy was like to pay $1,000 for it. I don't know, but he said the guy later said on TikTok the person sent the money, but he refunded. I doubt, but I don't know what happened. But that was so funny. Nah, nah, nah. I just make tea when I wake up. When I wake up in the morning, na 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 na. I haven't been on Reddit for so very long. I don't know if I should go on Reddit today. Air confessions. Let me check out. Let me read. I is my Reddit logged in? I can never. You can never let people know your Reddit name. Let me sign out. Let me sign out on my Reddit. I haven't been on Reddit for so long, very very long. Okay, let me see if I can find good Reddits. I don't know if this has. Let me look for family confessions. I hope it's PG. Ah, what? Hey, hey, let me read for you this one. I don't know if you should screen share. Which one is better? Oh my god, this is crazy. Please don't stop showing my email here, okay? I'm not new to Reddit and I don't want to. Hmm. Okay, let me see. Let's screen share this one because I want to read you guys crazy Reddits, okay? Just because to share a specific window. Which one am I on? This one. Let me read for you. Confessions. I facilitated the unaliving of my roommate, and I slept next door to him while he lay unalived in his bed for 4 days. Several surgeries because of a bone disease he had. He was on cloud nine. He was just landed a job as a residential painter. He wanted to celebrate, and we were making poor life decisions back then. He asked me if I could find him a certain knack. Breaking away from that life at the time, so I had to connect but expressed my discomfort. Then he told me, um, food thief, who's our that bad roommate, had met a guy on the bus who was going to hook him up if I could not. I was thinking that wasn't responsible use, so I caved, and the guy knew and had a guy I knew meet up with him. He was $20 short, so I spotted him. He came home and went to work on it. Sometimes after midnight, I knocked on his door. He opened, wearing just a pair of shorts and looking messed up. I asked him for the $20. He was holding his shorts up with one hand but lost his grip. His shorts dropped and all I saw was his one. I'm like, bro, it's cool. I get you. I'll get it from you another time. I turned around and went to my room, wondering if he was one of those people who gets weird using those things. So I was kind of upset. Hours later, I heard him yell out over music. I cringed, thinking he must have finished himself. For the next few days, I wasn't avoiding him, but I wasn't going out of my way to talk to him because of our awkward situation. That was a Monday. On Thursday, I got a call from our housing person asking when I had last spoken to him. I thought I had heard him the night before take, talking to Food Thief, so I let them know I heard him, but he hadn't talked to him since Monday, but I hadn't talked to him since Monday. They thanked me and let me go. About 10 minutes later, I got another call from one of the housing people I knew. He told me they have found my homie passed away in his bed, and they thought it was some kind of stomach issue. I immediately thought, did he off himself because he felt ashamed of what happened that night? My head was spinning, but I heard him last night home and talked to Food Thief. He confirmed that he had his boy over the night before. My heart sank when he yelled out, and I thought he had just blown his load. He was actually passing away. This sent me down a bad road. When the autopsy came back and it was determined that his heart had exploded, they told us no, those things had been found in his system, but really they may just have said that to make us feel better since this wasn't the cause of something we were all living together trying to escape. This was a recovery house, and before I get to do whatever in the comments, like people come after him in the comments. If you think sober living houses are good, clean, safe, and sober environment, in my experience, they are worse. I was in a program for over 2 years and moved between three houses. The reason I kept moving was because of roommates still using. It was pure drama of alliances and broken promises. This was well over a decade ago, and it tore me up for a long time. It still fills me with regret and sorrow. I'm so sorry, brother. I think about you all the time and I miss you. Well, So, then we have the comments. What is this one saying? That's really heavy, man. The guilt you're carrying from this whole situation is understandable, but you are just trying to look out for him by being the safer option rather than some random bus guy. You couldn't have known what the yell meant, and sleeping in the same house while someone passes away doesn't make you responsible. Heart problems like that can happen to anyone. Then this is the same person who made the post. He's saying, "I found out later he had an enlarged heart. He was what they call pigeon-chested, and I just assumed it was from his bone disease, and it probably was, but I heard it can be linked to the enlarged heart." And this one says, yeah, this is one of the situations where hindsight makes everything feel heavier than it actually was. In the moment, nobody hears a yell through music and immediately thinks something life threatening is happening. Your brain just doesn't go there. It's brutal, but it really doesn't sound like something will have played out the same no matter who was there in the same room. This one says, as someone who has survived a bone marrow transplant, that thing is rough. I can only imagine what he had that required multiple surgeries. There's so many things that can go wrong in that process. Most likely a side effect of the treatment was what finished him. Any other person? The autopsy people are not in the business of lying to make you feel better. This is because you see the autopsy said something else. Yeah, let's get another one. Should I read this one also? I'm looking for the ones that have many upvotes. Let's see. This one, the title says, "I miss you, my baby brother. In another life, I could have saved you, my boy." Hey, is this something we should read? Let's not this one. Let's not read this one. This could be sensitive to some people. Okay, let's read another one. Let's see what this one says. Keep it PG PG. Okay, okay, let's read this one. This one says, "I'm completely disgusted by my brother and I don't know how to pretend I'm not." Says, gonna start off this I'm gonna start this off by saying that I know that teenagers are gross and it's a rough time. Sometimes the hygiene isn't ideal, but think of the crastiest kid from back when you were in school and times that by 100. That is my brother. He is 16, about to turn 17 in January. In 2 weeks, in the 2 weeks I've been staying with him, he hasn't showered even once. Eh. I know someone who used to have trouble showering, but it wasn't like this long. It will be like maybe in 2 days, shower once, something like that, okay? His only two interests are sports and video games, specifically Fortnite. He'll play sports for a few hours every day. Play is a very strong word. He just hits a ball tied to a tree, comes in sweaty, eats his body weight in food, and then goes and plays Fortnite for the rest of the day. But it gets worse. 2 days ago, I decided I'd tidy his room for him since he was getting too bad to ignore. The mess was spilling onto the hallway, and the stench coming from his room was starting to make the whole house smell bad. I did his laundry, came out with two bean bags full of half moldy food, and just when I was finishing up, I decided to look in the mini bin under his desk because there was still pretty bad smell in there. It was full of peas. Teenage boys. Hey, hey, I wonder. I went and told my mom straight away. It turns out this kid wouldn't even be bothered to get up to pee while he was gaming. He just peed in the bin and left it there next to his hot PC. It was rancid. My mom told me not to tell him that I knew about it, but bro, I can't even make eye contact with him. I'm so disgusted. What do I do? Edit. My parents are amazing people, and I don't think this is their fault at all. They raised me and my older brother to be great and functioning adults. My younger brother was hygienic up until the point when my parents decided it was going to be up to him to shower and stay clean. They still try, they force him to shower, gives him hygiene sets to encourage it, but it never sticks. And at almost 17, I think it's not is the is I don't think it's the responsibility anymore. They give him access to hot showers and soaps. They can't constantly force him. He's not 5. And it's 2. I'm 99% sure he's not depressed. Obviously, you can never know for sure, but he's very outgoing and he's very extroverted. He kinda doesn't believe in mental health struggles and mocks my issues. What do you guys think? Let me know. Comment. Okay. What other one? Mm. This one is saying I wish my brother wasn't born. Eh. My bro. Oh, okay. Okay, we can continue reading. I thought he was going to say like he doesn't like it because the brother is like um is like what? Maybe he does something bad. Anyway, let's read and see. This one, the title says, I wish my brother. This is not in our confession. This is R of my chest, and it says, but it's still the same thing. I wish my brother wasn't born. My brother, who's 15 male, is severely autistic and nonverbal. I don't even know if he understands us. He's currently on in his adolescent years, and so he's very always angry, and we can never figure out what's bothering him. He isn't able to express his emotions and resorts to breaking and smashing things, treating our house like a rage room. He tries to hit my mom as well, especially when my dad is not around. They both try to support him like the best they can, both emotionally and financially, but the second he doesn't get his way, he freaks out. I can tell my parents are losing control of him because since he's getting older, he's also getting stronger. He's younger than me and already much stronger than I am. I also have a younger sister who's 12, female, sister who's female, yeah, who has gotten shoved or hit several times, a few times in the recent weeks. He's becoming a loose cannon, and I'm scared my parents aren't able to handle him. He's destroying so many things that we can't afford to replace. He goes to ABA. ABA is a counseling. Anger? No. ABA. Hey, I need to know these things, my God. Let me look up. ABA is behavioral therapy. I think so. Let me see. So that we are clear, like we talk something that we know. ABA. It's called. It's therapy that applies learning principles to real world situations, understanding and developmental disorders. Okay, now we what? And a school bus he takes to school. He goes to special education program. He broke a piece of the school bus off, which we naturally have to repay, but it's making us bleed financially. He's nonverbal and we cannot tell us what's wrong, which must be frustrating. But I feel so bad for my parents. They had us quite late in life and are pretty old now, and the stress is bad for their mental health. If anyone has any advice, please let me know because I feel so bad for my parents. I get to escape his rage tantrums when I go back to uni in the fall, but they hardly ever catch a break. And then there is an edit from, I guess, when he read the comments, says, edit, I agree with everyone saying residential facilities could be the best option right now. My parents are also open to the idea. I've already looked onto it, and unfortunately, in Canada, it seems to be quite a difficult process for minors. And for adults, the wait list averages 10 years, and if they have siblings and both parents, they're considered low priority. It also seems to be a long and difficult process. So, if anyone has any advice on where to start, please let me know. Let's see the comments. What comment do we have? Ah, this one says it's time for him to get placed in living facility. This one says as someone who worked in special education and had a student like this, sadly this is correct. If this is old and if he's this old and still showing and then he needs to be removed. Something I saw in there is this writer, what is his name? There is an English writer who had a sibling who is have had autism, and what they used to do is they used to pay like they go to live with a different couple and they usually send upkeep and of course pay the couple. um what it he's a famous like almost the most famous author in Europe, in England. Let me see his name if I can remember. uh Yeah, he's Charles Dickens. Charles Dickens used to have a sibling. I think so. I'm like 80% sure he's the one I'm talking about. He had a sibling who had autism, and they say they literally put him in such care for like as long as he was alive, up to his old age. Yeah. So yeah, I guess sometimes it works like that. Also, something you can note from the situation. Actually, scientifically, when you have a kid, this is like not the case in all cases, but it raises the chance. If you have a kid when you're like older, let me say for a woman when you're like above 40 years old, there is a very high probability, like not extremely high, but it is high, like higher than normal probability that the kid will have autism or any kind of developmental disorder. So for him to say the parents are old and this kid is just 15, which means I think for people for him to say they're old and they were like heading the parents were like old when they had the kids, probably like maybe 60, which could make this is me just thinking like it could be around 60, so maybe the kid was also had in later years. So it's not always the case, but it's a very high probability when you have a kid and you're like in older ages, the kid might have a developmental disorder. Okay, there is another person who left a comment saying, my beautiful son went through this around the same age and same circumstances. I have photos of the bruises he left on himself as well as struggling to take him for something as simple as a walk. I took him to a psychiatrist who was able to medicate him, so his violence was curbed, but he was deeply depressed and still couldn't behave. While my son couldn't tell me what he felt, and I took him for medical exams for fear he was in pain. I had no choice but to put him in residential school. Some places require an ER visit and involuntary psych hold, but it can help. You feel like the worst parent alive having to put your child in one of these places. There are several residential schools that will still take your brother at his age. My son started his about 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks before his 16th birthday. Fast forward several years, he has made such improvements. It appears he was very lonely and bored. They constantly are around other people their age, go to parks together, watch movies together, accept each other. Some take quickly to electronic devices to help them communicate. His school has helped me develop a path to the future. There are times he's frustrated and still destroys things, but it's not as much as it was before. So you can see someone saying theirs worked, so it does. And just on this thing, I remember like back at home, there is this girl who there is a very young girl who used to come out to she really liked to come to our home, and she would come and she liked grabbing my sister, even though like we were afraid of her because we didn't know what was wrong with her, or like because she never talked and whatever. And like after me going to school and learning about these developmental disorders is when I realized she was actually nonverbal autistic. She is like, yeah, so that is what was happening. But the thing is, like, people were just afraid of her, and people were saying all sorts sort of things. You know, those people who still believe in witchcraft, they were like, oh, I don't know, blah blah blah, the whatever. Like people used to say, I don't know what's wrong with her. And the let me tell you something funny. It's not even funny. The grandmother, this kid, she was left with her grandmother, and the grandmother tried to take her to a special school. The kid was taken there for an evaluation, and she was turned away. They were like, no, your kid is fine. This girl was like around, from the last time I saw her, she was around 12 years old. She could not speak. She would just come and sit and stare at people or go to people. Or like, let me say, if I'm sitting like this, she will come and sit directly in front of me and just stare at me like this and smiling and whatever. She went for an evaluation to get into a special school and was told, your child is okay. So this kid cannot go to a normal school. So I don't think she ever started school. I'm not sure if she's still around, like she still lives with her grandmother. I don't know, or maybe the mother took her back. And what used to happen is people, kids like that, they just leave them. Like they just say, okay, this one is not okay, and they're like, they don't they can't help the kid. They just leave him like that. Okay, let's see another one. Let's go to our confessions and see another one. It's 5:38. Eh, eh, eh. Okay, let's read this one. This one looks funny. I stole my. This is also in Confessions. I guess I already go and I watch him look for it. Okay, and it says, wait, let me see. Wait a minute. Just check if everything is okay. Okay, we'll read this one and then that will be it. I stole my neighbor's cat 6 months ago and I watch him look for it every single day. And it says, I live in a shitty apartment complex where the walls are basically made of paper, and my neighbor was this guy who probably shouldn't even be allowed to own a house plant, let alone a living creature. He had this small black cat that he would just leave out on the balcony for hours, regardless of the weather. I could hear the poor thing crying through the vents while he was inside blasting music or shouting at his Xbox. One night it started pouring rain and the temperature dropped hard, and I saw the cat shivering on the railing, looking miserable. I just reached over from the balcony and grabbed the cat and brought it inside. I didn't even think about it, I just reacted. The next morning, I heard him shouting in the hallway, asking everyone if they had seen his pet. I just stood there with the door cracked open and told him I hadn't seen a thing, and maybe the cat finally jumped off because it was fed up with him. He spent weeks putting up posters and walking around the block calling its name while the cat was literally sleeping on my bed 10 feet away from him. It has been 6 months now and he still brings it up whenever we cross paths in the laundry room. He looks genuinely devastated sometimes, which will make me feel bad if I hadn't seen him ignore the cat's bows for days at a time back then. The cat is doing great now, by the way. I renamed him and he's healthy because he actually gets fed decent food and doesn't have to freeze his tail off outside. I've been extremely careful though. I never let him near the windows when the blinds are up, and I have specific routine for when I take out the trash so he doesn't accidentally dart into the hallway. It is a stressful way to live, but seeing the cat actually purring instead of screaming makes it worth the paranoia. My friend that just thinks I adopted him from a shelter in the next town over, and I'm not ever telling him the truth. Sometimes I see the neighbor at the local bar looking through old photos on his phone, and I just sit there drinking my beer, saying nothing. I know it's technically theft and I'm a liar, but some people just don't deserve the loyalty of an animal. He probably thinks a coyote got it or someone picked it from the street, which is technically true, I guess. I just happened to be the someone. The cat seems to prefer my taste in movies. Anyway, so we're sticking to the plan. I will probably move out when my lease is up just to end the risk of him hearing a meow through the wall. Until then, I'm just helpful. The helpful neighbor who offers sympathetic nod while the evidence is lapping in my living room. See, ethically, it's a gray area, but morally, you did the right thing. Hearing a cat cry in the rain while the owner is screaming at a game is heartbreaking. He definitely saved the cat from a miserable life. The guy couldn't even remember to fill water bowls regularly, so clearly he wasn't fit for pet ownerships in the first place. Moving when your lease ends is smart move though. Living with that kind of secret stresses you for a long time. You didn't steal a pet, you performed a rescue operation. I did this with my dog. The dog ran away from a dude on July 4th. I spent 3 to 4 weeks posting online and searching for him. I got a tag with my info and the name we were calling the dog. I finally found the guy. He gets the dog and puts it in the bed of his trunk and hops in, drives away. What is this one saying? A few weeks later, I get a call that says they found my dog. I tell them the owner's name and the number. Ugh, I don't even know. That is mixed up words. Yeah, anyway, I guess I will end my life here. Okay, stop sharing. Rara, Rasputin, lover, the Russian queen. Mm.
Work today is broken.
Ah,
We're all working in too many disconnected.
yawning too much. Yeah, let me end the live stream. Bye bye.